for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. Well, it is Halloween, so this is a great time to reveal rituals, do them in front of people, and of course, the dumbed down society we live in will use these things as, well, they were just promoting a movie, a horror movie. That's how they were marketing their brand. Kylie Jenner, as everyone knows, is a massive Armenian occultic witch. The Kardashians are one of the highest, most powerful ranking witches in Hollywood. It's the only reason that they're in the position they're in. But as the occult operates, they know how to work the minds of the masses. So what is the perception of the Kardashians? They're dead sea. They don't know what they're doing or what they're talking about. They're only worth trillions of dollars. Not that that matters, but they're social influencers. They're there to dumb down the masses. These are witches operating right in front of your face. Now, you might say, well, what Kylie Jenner here? Well, that's one of the younger Kardashians. Caitlyn. Excuse me. Don't want to go to jail. Did it again. Caitlyn Jenner, the daughter of course, with Kris Jenner, is promoting a new product, and of course, it's so original to take a bloodbath because we haven't seen it before. Now, this is how they get away with it. This is supposed to be an homage and a marketing tactic with Nightmare on Elm Street, right? And that's how they get away with this stuff. It's Halloween, it's spooky, blood, come on call, you're crazy. This isn't a ritual or a blood baptism, which is all that these people do, is show you this stuff over and over, which I'm going to show you in a minute, because the bloodbath and dousing yourself in blood has been done over and over and over. There's nothing original. If you were in marketing and you were as rich as these people are, you would say, well, it's been done before, right? That's like making Thriller Part 2. If you were a musician, you're like, I'm gonna make a song. We're gonna dance like zombies in the streets. It's gonna be catchy and popish. Somebody go, well, it sounds just like Thriller. You can't do that. Well, in this case, you can, because this is how predictive programming or just repetition works in conditioning the masses. Now, any Satanist will tell you, being baptized in the occult, you're baptized in blood. You take how Christians are baptized, you're baptized in water. Satanists are baptized in blood, whether it's animal or human. Okay, they'll tell you a lot of the time, it's fake, it's dye, right? They covered in food dye. Because of course, when they start admitting and confessing to these things, people get suspicious. This is what they used to do. And this is why Christians and many other people got together and ran these people out and did more than that. But you can't even say that now, let alone you can't say it, okay? So Kylie has decided she's gonna do a massive bloodbath, cover herself in blood, because that's great, because when you're marketing makeup, it's the first thing we all think of, right, is dumping blood on ourselves. I mean, I know the men out there, right, it's a huge turn on. Oh yeah, woman covered in blood. I mean, 95% probably of the population, 99.9 would say it's disgusting. But in this day and age, especially with the communities that we have going on here where they tuck things between their legs, we live in a sick world with very, very sick mental health. Now, they'll tell you that we're the ones with mental health problems, but these people, all of them, would be in asylums many years ago. But they've taken control. They now control government, business, all of it. So what they're doing is indoctrinating the masses with witchcraft, with occult rituals, which is what this is. So let's go right off the bat here before we start with these. These are, the Armenian witch connection. Okay, so if you're marketing a company, you're probably going to want to do something original, never done before. Off the top of my head, as I do this video, I can name where I've seen this. Maroon 5 has done it, right? With that very unmasculine, that guy is one of the worst. Adam Levine, right? A video doused in blood, making love, because that's really what everybody wants to see. There's nothing there, People watching, they're just like, oh, wow. Is that hot? Is that sexy? oh, it is because you like Adam Levine, you were told that he's this or that, and then they start indoctrinating you with occult rituals, and then you don't even realize it. Next thing you know, you're probably participating in it. You have Eminem, of course, with the Bloodbath, Machine Gun Kelly with the Bloodbath, Machine Gun Kelly, the softest. I feel like I'm going to start calling him the softest man ever live. I love to hear stuff, and they're like, oh yeah, he's hard, he's tough. None of these guys are so pathetically weak as human beings that they have done these things, not just to themselves. They've sold their souls. They have participated in these rituals because they seeked attention and love and admiration more than anything else. They are mentally and physically weak. But anyway, you've seen an American Horror Story, the Bloodbath. Lil Wayne has done it. I remember that guy Milos doing it, who was supposed to be some type of truther. I don't know if you guys remember the Milos guy, walking around. He loves it, loves the Hershey Highway, running around with that specific bagel flag. I don't know if you remember him. I know Jeff used to cover those types of guys all the time who pretended to be truthers in the alt-right, quote-unquote, community. You can only laugh sometimes at some of this stuff. Slipknot, of course, with the Bloodbath rituals. I mean, the list of these people and the same repetition and the same pattern in movies, American Horror Story. Kim Kardashian herself doing the placenta vampire facial on her face. I mean, when are people going to start seeing this stuff? Is there anything about this that's supposed to make you go, ooh, yeah? Oh, well, if you're having that type of feeling that you're attracted or something to this, then there's something wrong with you, which means you're probably not of the seed of Abraham. I mean, you're probably just very, very, I don't know, but something wrong. And if you want to use this and say, oh, well, this is just this is how they work. It's just for horror. It's Halloween. It's horror season. It's Nightmare on Elm Street. I grew up, and I always liked horror movies. The Killing or any of that stuff. I always thought they were the funniest movies I've ever seen. So when I was a kid, I watched Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, I would crack up because that's the whole plot. I was just like, huh, the whole time. I should probably do a video going through Halloween, talking about each. I mean, nothing makes any sense, right? Like Michael Myers breaks out of the asylum in the first one. He drives 150 miles to Haddonfield. Doesn't have a license. He's been in jail. He's been in the correctional facility since he was 7. I mean, did he get gas along the way? Right? Change of clothes, use the restroom. I mean, what? The guy's been institutionalized. So I always liked those movies because I laughed at them. And same with Elm Street, which was, there's of course there's truths in these, but I mean, Elm Street was always funny because the one-liners that, Krueger would give, because it was almost like a comedy with some of the stuff, and Elm Street 2, if anyone's ever seen that, which is just like a LGB parade. It's brutal. But I mean, they're funny to me. I laugh at them because it's just so stupid and ridiculous. Now you don't see movies like that because everything now is about demonic possession because they're revealing what's happening now, right? Everything's about paranormal activity, Insidious. These are the things that are, that are coming and are actually happening that people are doing to themselves. But I mean, just looking at this stuff, it's like, how many times do you need to see it to realize that they're indoctrinating you? Because if any of you out there ever, I'm sure at one point in your life, you might have thought in your head you could be a this or a that, an actor, a musician, whatever. I'm sure you did. You would think in your head, right? You'd be like, well, I got to be original, right? I mean, you're not, like I said earlier, you're not going to make Thriller Part 2 or do this. How many of these people have done these videos where they show themselves doing bloodbaths? I name these off the top of my head. I guarantee that you guys can name 50 more in the comment section. Now, I don't know where my videos are on the bloodbath rituals because they've been removed. How convenient. And if they are on there, they're under obviously a hidden title where I can't find them. But I've covered it so many times, and they use the bathtub, of course, in other videos like Taylor Swift, a bathtub of diamonds, Britney Spears, because the bathtub, Rihanna, Shakira, right? The bathtub represents baptisms in their symbolism. The new baptism, being re-baptized. And the blood represents being baptized in Satanism. And this is an actual ritual that Satanists partake in. They do this disgusting stuff. And a lot of Satanists have come forward to even talk about fecal matter being involved in it. Which doesn't surprise me, because these people aren't human. They're disturbing and disgusting. And they're rolling around in this stuff. And I mean, you can't make it up. And this is Kylie Jenner. Again, she's one of the biggest selling people, as far as beauty products in the world. But what's scariest about it is that these are the massive social influencers. The Kardashian family, the Biebers, all of these people who are social influencers are influencing the masses into a new world order. They are desensitizing people and preparing them to be a part of these types of rituals. The horror movies do that to people. They do desensitize them to this type of macabre. And people are like, that's not true. What? It is true. If you don't want to believe it or not, don't. That's the purpose of all of this. This is about God versus the devil, good versus evil. And we live in a world where it's inverted, where evil is good and good is evil. So people like me are considered evil, wicked, horrible people. And these people doing this stuff in blood, this is wonderful because this is art. This isn't real, call. This isn't really happening. Sure, of course not. Right, so if I was any of us were famous artists, you would be like, let's do something where I bathe and roll around in poopy and blood. Of course you wouldn't think like that. That's how they think, because they want to prep you. This is the world we live in. Blood, I've talked about it many times over. How many times have I showed you stuff where they even have science coming out, scientists coming out, talking about how blood, the youthful blood will cure Alzheimer's. Youthful blood will cure wrinkles. I talked about it 6 years ago. People were like, I don't know. Then it became more and more normal. People were like, wow, this is getting creepy. And now it's just like, these people want this. They're going to accept it. Look at the liberal left, whatever they are. They will take whatever. They're already willing to put whatever in their body without questioning it. Literally, not even just magic potions, whatever they can shove in them. They're going to be on board for whatever they're told to be on board for, because they're not humans. They don't have functioning brains in their head. But, like I said many times over, we're lucky that they're going to boost themselves, because then they won't be here. But this is an indoctrination. This is a cult indoctrination. This is not Halloween. This has nothing to do with the Kardashians being, oh, we're going to do this for Halloween. We love Nightmare on Elm Street. This is how they get away with it. We've had Kim before do the milk baptism. I've talked about that many times. It's a pagan ritual, the milk bath. Many times. Right? And then Kim, I think, is hosting Saturday Night Live. I'm sure there'll be a ritual on there, something on there. I'll cover it if there is. I'm not going to watch it, but I'll look and see if there's anything. This is how it works. This is how they work. And October 13th is when the ritual season begins, which is about 5 days from now, the 13th to the 31st. Remember those numbers, inverted, 13 to 31. Halloween, Samhain, is not just the 31st. It is a period of time. This is where rituals are at their highest. So always be aware of that, especially if you have pets or anything else. And don't let people just, if they laugh you off, let them laugh you off. Something happens to your pet or a loved one, would you rather someone ridicule you or make fun of you? This is the period where the most abductions and those types of things happen. So, fearmonger or not, I'd rather tell you than not tell you. I'd rather you go, well, Cole was wrong, nothing happened to me. Good. I'm glad nothing happened. Don't listen if you don't want to listen. I'd rather your pet or whoever else in your family be safe. So this is it, folks. This is hell on earth taking over. The Kardashians already have shown us many times over. I covered this stuff with Kanye and his concerts recently with her, how she was dressed. It's right in front of your face. So you can choose to see it or you can choose not to. It's up to you. Thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you greatly. God bless you and your families.